everybody, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about anxiety just a little bit more. I hope you've had time to watch part 1 and part 2 of this series. Today's video is answering some questions that I get from many parents. So let's start. The first question I get from almost every parent who's concerned about anxiety is, do parents cause anxiety? Let me give you my opinion. Parents do not cause anxiety, but they do play a huge role in it. So let me explain. Based on my research, there are 3 main reasons why children develop anxiety. First of all, there is a genetic component. It's purely biological, but it's not as strong of an influence as you might expect. It's really only responsible for a small percentage of cases. Conversely, on the other side, parenting style plays a huge role in the development of anxiety. There's a few things that parents do that actually can promote anxious behavior. One of those is parental overcontrol. So parents who control every detail of a child's life, what they wear, what they eat, what they play with, who they talk to, how they talk. Those type of parents tend to encourage anxious behavior in their children. We also have parents who use excessive caution, who are constantly, be careful climbing that tree, be careful crossing the road, watch out with that stick. Parents who are nervous themselves and who tend to look for worst possible outcome in a situation tend to be ones who are excessive worriers, and children pick up on that. They're reading into it that the world is a dangerous place, and that can lead to more anxiety. Another thing that unfortunately many loving parents do without realizing it is they model anxiety. They're anxious themselves, and so they're talking through situations through an anxious lens, and the children are picking up on that. Then finally, a lot of loving, well-intentioned parents also accommodate anxiety. We talked about that in part 1, and that's where you try to avoid anything that causes your child anxious feelings. You avoid social situations where your child has to meet new people because it causes them anxiety. You think you're helping when you're actually building up the anxiety. You think you're helping, but you're actually causing a much bigger problem. Whenever possible, don't accommodate the anxiety. The second question I get from parents quite often is, what does anxiety look like? Anxiety can look very different depending on your child's age, their gender, their temperament, their personality. So you've got the straightforward anxious kids that say, I'm scared to go to school. I'm afraid to go to the zoo because there's snakes in cages, etc., etc. Those are kids that are aware of their feelings and they can talk it out with you. Another type of child may not be able to verbalize their anxious feelings, and instead it's, my tummy hurts, my head hurts, I'm tired, my leg hurts, my back hurts. Whatever the case may be, it's called somatization, and they feel the pain, but instead of feeling it as anxiety, they feel it as actual physical pain. In those situations, I always want to rule out an actual physical illness before I jump to anxiety, because I've seen situations where parents thought it was anxiety and it was actually something physical. So please talk to your doctor about that. Another type of child who is dealing with anxiety might just want to avoid situations. So they don't seem anxious, but no thanks, I'm just not interested. When you know in your heart your child would be interested in that. They're avoiding the situation because it's causing them anxiety. Okay, the last question that I frequently get from parents is, when do I need to get help for my child? When do I need to take him to a therapist? Here's my answer. Take them anytime you have a concern. You're free to do that. Anxiety is highly treatable, and unfortunately, if it's not treated, it can kind of snowball into a bigger and bigger problem. So if you have an inkling and you have the means to take him to therapy, go ahead. It can't hurt. But if you don't have the means and you're not quite sure they really need it, the rule of thumb, according to most experts, is that it becomes a problem when it interferes with their daily functioning. So if they're not able to go and do things that they used to enjoy, or able to do things that are just a part of a normal everyday life, that's when it's slipping into more of a diagnosable problem. And it's very important you get help as soon as you can. Like I said, anxiety is treatable. And there's a lot that you can do with your child and a therapist working together to solve the problem before it becomes unmanageable. Again, the references I used for this video are listed in the description box below. If you have more questions that you'd like me to answer, please leave them. Have a great day and good luck.